What's up, what it is, YouTube? It's Don't Play Trent checking in live from the lab. Back at it again with another video here on the little account where I give you guys tips and tricks on how to grow a little account into a big deal. So without further ado, we're gonna jump straight into this is the sixth trade of the day. So let me update you guys on the last trade that we took, take you guys straight to the chart. If you guys been following me, you guys know that I'm doing this account build, trying to grow $1,000 to who knows what. Well, I'm just taking you guys through each and every trade, each step of the way. So previous trade that was called was this sell right here, right at 194.600. Once price broke the trend line, gave us the engulfing bearish candle. We end up just taking the same trade because we've took the first trade here around like 3 o'clock, and price continued to go up to grab some liquidity, and we end up getting stopped out. But the trade was still valid, so we went ahead and just took the same trade again around 10, 11 o'clock. And then as you can see, TP1, TP2s was hit. I ended up just closing out the entire trade. Because now I feel like we are low key finding support at this 38 retracement, which is the initial move that we've been looking for anyway, was to get in on the sales to get back in on the buy. So we're looking to take a buy from this area. You guys see that? Okay, so right here at 38.2 is where we actually just entered another trade. So we closed out the sales. I think that was for about like 500 and some profit. And then right here at the 38.2, where this yellow line is, we went ahead and entered another buy at 11 a.m. around 11 a.m. And this current trade is in drawdown at the moment. So, but I am looking to potentially add another entry in this area. As long as price doesn't close below this area, I'm going to continue to buy in this area at our 38, so strongest retracement. However, I do need to be aware that price could be coming to the 50 or the 60, which was our TP3, TP4, or 5, or whatever it is on the last trade. So price could still keep retracing. So something to watch out for. But like I said, I'm going to sit here and potentially get out of these trades. If price does close below this level here, if price does close below this level, then I'm gonna close out these trades and just wait for another buy setup. But the buys is coming. We're definitely on an uptrend. So maybe I'm a little bit too early with this setup here. I did see the rejection. Should have probably waited for another rejection to give me a little bit more confirmation. So it's probably just an itchy trade in a sense. But yeah, currently in this trade, we're gonna see how this motherfucker do. Currently sitting at the, looks like the 193,750 QP is where it's like hesitating and finding support. So yeah, right below this area is where price is finding support. Been up all night trying to catch these damn trades. And this is also a random line. Is this a random line over here? No, not really. I usually like to find my random lines. So damn, got the light all in the way. I usually like to find my random lines on the 1 hour chart. So we are in a bit of a drawdown at this moment. Um, how many pips is this? And I believe we are like breaking our rules right now by not closing these trades. But I just want to see how this 1 hour candle closes at 11 a.m. And also this 4 hour candle. So this 4 hour candle still has a lot of momentum. On it. So like I said, it could retrace from the 50 or the 61. And I can maybe get back in on the buys here. Let's check the UJ out. See, UJ's not looking good either. I was hoping that UJ was gonna find support here at this weekly support level, um, but it didn't, which could possibly mean GJ could continue to drop. I said it was a doji on a 30-minute candle. Well, let's wait and see what happens to this particular trade. Everybody else is letting it breathe. This bitch has been very strong momentum. And JPY has been really strong. So I would say this is like let's check the strength on JPY. Yeah, that bitch is still at an 8. Fuck. You know, and I seen that earlier before I even entered it. You know, I hate to go against the strength, but at the same time, you know, what goes up must come down, what gets strong must go weak, type of thing. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see how this bitch reacts. Like I said, it is hesitating and finding support all in this area. Yeah, I may have possibly jumped the gun on this particular trade here at 11, but usually the market likes to move at 11. You know, like 10, 11 o'clock, you get some nice pushes. So let's go to TradeZilla and just update TradeZilla. So we end up closing 510 on the sell trade that we took. So let's this was initially one trade. All of these were pretty much just one trade. Go to the actual trades. You can see very little drawdown. Yeah, 75, 85. Yeah, just TP1, TP2 is hitting. These were just break-even trades. And this was one trade to 850, 193, 850 was the the hell going on with this whole time is it? Yes, almost 11:30. Yes, it is 11:30. Like I said, there's some buyers in this area. So yeah, if I can get another wick rejection in this area, I'll add another entry to it. I don't know what's going on with TradeZilla right now. Stop loss is 195.0. And 193.850. 193.50. So I had it backwards. Mine. I said, if UJ rejects this area and shows some type of rejection off of this weekly support level, which is 149.700, then I am going to add another entry because I believe that price is going to continue in the uptrend. And of course, this particular buy, we're going to be catching. So this trade here, I want about a 20 pip stop loss in a sense. And our TP1 is going to be TP1 is going to be 60 pips, 60. And then the last TP is going to be this 4-hour zone. So this is going to be the next target zone to let one of our entries run on this setup here. It's like tired as hell. No cap. I'm talking about this bitch here. It's tanking on us right now. Yeah, this was a very unnecessary aggressive trade, especially it being the second trade of the day. Should not have been this aggressive on this particular trade. Because now I'm like, don't even know where to get out at, in a sense. Like if it hits I'm gonna see how this hour candle closes. If this hour candle closes bearish, then I'm just close this bitch. And probably just take my $200-300 loss, whatever it is. If I can see some type of buy momentum in this area, then I'll end up adding an entry down here. Okay, I'm trying to do my TradeZilla due diligence, but for some reason it's not letting us do what we need to do. But so far, caught one trade, we're in another one, and this is the part where our psychology plays a big role because we're coming off a decent win, about $400-500, and then we enter again, to try to compound it. But it's like at the same time, it's like being the second trade of the day, we should not have gotten that aggressive as far as that many entries. Because it's one thing to, yeah, we're down probably like 25. It's one thing to extend your stop loss because you're trying to let it breathe, but you only do that when you have, only 1 or 2 entries in. So you still have to minimize the risk. I'm looking for you, Jade. I said I'm looking for some support to be found down here in this area. UJ, and that'll give me an indication that GJ is about to begin buying again, basically. So this is trade number 6. Oh shit. Yep, currently in trade number 6. So we took trade number 6 about right here. Basically right here at this 38 retracement. Once I seen the rejection coming off the 38 retracement, like I said, I could have waited for another one in order for this to be like true confirmation. So like I said, I definitely jumped the gun and I added too many entries, and I believe that is just because of coming off of a big win, not a big win, but a decent win off of the first trade. So it's like the goal is to keep the money. You know, you don't want to make the money and then give it back on the next trade, losing it, which is technically what I'm doing now. But I got a feeling that this trade is probably going to continue to go up because we are in on the right direction. It's just when is it going to go up? You know what I mean? The bitch can go up Friday, you know, continue to drop the rest of the week. So it's like, and I'm not trying to endure or hold all of this drawdown anyway. Shoot. Yeah, especially with JPY being that fucking strong. Definitely a bad time to be aggressive. JPY sitting at an 8. Show y'all. You know? So you don't want to be going against JPY. That's why everybody is letting this bitch breathe, but me. Yeah, and then I get my stupid ass in a very aggressive move. So it's almost 12 o'clock, so let's wait and see how this hour candle closes. Or at least it's 4 hour candle at 1 o'clock. And see if it pushes up. If it doesn't, then we'll just close it straight and just be back at it tomorrow. And to learn from this, right? I'm trying to do my notes. Yeah, because price could potentially buy right here at the 50 as well. So we might be pushing. Yeah, I think this buy is getting set up for tomorrow. Tomorrow. This looks like a decent stop loss. Yeah, we entered like what were our entry points anyway? Yeah, we entered at 90 fucking 3. So about 20 pips away. Where is this thingy thing at? Okay. Yeah. It's about 20 pips away from see how this 5 minute candle closes. We go. Let's see how this 5 minute candle closes. Looks like some bullish momentum is coming in. Like I said, I would like to see. Not what I really wanted to see. It is a nice ass bullish engulfing. But I'm looking for a reason to maybe add another entry. Like I said, if this bitch can continue to reject off of this area, this was a nice little buying zone as well. So yo,
What they do?
what's up, my boy?
Chilling. What y'all doing?
Shit, I'm on live right now. Yeah.
I was about to say I leave out tomorrow morning, but tomorrow at 12.
For real.
Yeah.
They finally called your ass.
Finally caught, man, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But shit, let me get off this live. I'm gonna hit you right back.
All right, go ahead. Do you think?
All right. Yeah, so this looks like a good buying area. 30 minute, still a 30 minute. We got, this is what we've been looking for. This is what we've been looking for. I'm going to add another buy entry here. I'm going to add another one to try to make up for some of the, get back some of the drawdown that we're in. If we close below this area, then I'm just going to close all the trades and I'll be done for the day. And take whatever loss I endure. But with the 5 minute closing like that, coming out of this buying zone, and we also are rejecting this area. So all right, let's do it. That's my fucking trade to the, let me log out and log back in. How do I log out this bitch? Oh yeah. Trade is tweaking right now. Yeah, especially this 30 minute can close bullish engulfing over this, then I'm definitely loving this potential area. But we'll wait and see. Let's see what the strength is on JPY. If it went down, it's just at an 8. Like if it dropped to like a 5 or a 6, so it went from an 8 to a 7. And GJ is at a 5. I mean, GBP is at a 5, so it went down to a 7, and then GBP's at a 5. Like I said, let's wait and see how technically it's going to be this 4-hour candle that makes all the difference. So we still have another hour, but let's see how this 1-hour candle holds up. I'm hoping that it continues to push up to show the rejection. If it continues to push up this last, 12 minutes, this would be a nice rejection coming from this area. Then I wouldn't mind holding my buys. As far as my confidence level on the buys will be a lot better. We should be only focused on the $1,000 account as of now. Okay, trade, and then I don't think the other trade even got executed in yet. But yeah, let me do my notes on the second trade. So details, notes. So trade number A will be this buy area. So yes, about 20 something pips, 25 pips. Price closes below this area, 193.625. Then yeah, I'll be done. TP1 is gonna be here. So let's remove some of this stuff. Yeah. Did I screenshot this? I did not. So TP1 is here, but our target is going to be up here at this 4 hour zone. So target is actually going to be 195.750. First TP is going to be 60 pips. Let's delete this stuff. Fib level, like I said, is at a 38 retracement. So I so this is second trade. This is trade. So first trade, overall recap. First trade, hit TP, take a sell, back down to a fib level, then re-enter and enter back in on the buys. Enter back in on the buys to continue up. So basically, we were selling to a fib level. Once fib found support, get back in on the buys to continue the initial, the overall trend, which is in the buys, right? Let's save this. I also want to go to this trade and add tags to it. So this was a sell. We entered off of the 1 hour zone level. It was a random line. This is for the sell entry from earlier. Random line. Exit strategy, hit TP. First trade, Bollinger Bands, no. Trend line, yes. 30 minutes. This is a 30-minute trend line. that I saw. Confidence level. This was a high confidence trade, especially seeing the bearish engulfing. Was not at the field. Was not distracted. Was very calm. No mistakes. No news. This was Tokyo. Tokyo session? I don't even know. I think it was Tokyo. Yeah, Tokyo. Structure level broken, yes. Structure level broken 1 hour. This was a B plus setup. Was going against the trend. Yeah, so I was looking to catch a quick trade down to get back, in on the buy. So trying to see how this level is about to hold up. Yeah, trying to see if we get that end of day momentum. Yeah, I would like to enter a little bit further down. Anyway, it's going against the trend. Looking to catch a quick sell down to get back in on the buys. All a bearish form on our chart. At a daily high area. That was pretty much the highlight of that trade, seeing the bearish engulfing at the daily, right here. At this daily high, this was a weekly resistance. Seeing this signal right here was, this signal candle right here was the confidence that I needed to go ahead and say, okay, let me go ahead and take the trade. Everything else was just added confluence, but initially that was why I entered this trade. Seeing this candle, the trade that I lost Monday afternoon was right here, which is what I thought this was. So this candle here is what I thought this was, which is why I lost the trade ending Monday afternoon. But way to get back in. Way to get back in after taking a off on the same trade earlier in the day. So what the fuck was this TP? So 193, no. 193.850, and then this was 195.0. So initially this is risking about, said about 400, but my stop loss was actually a little bit tighter than this. But hey, this is what we're looking for. The rejections and the buy momentum to be coming in. Like I said, TP1 is gonna be here. And TP2, TP3. closed 3 entries at 60, 70, and 80 pips, and then the last couple entries I'll let run to our take profit target, which is in this area 195.750. Okay, so it looks like trades are basically almost back at break even. And this is why we have to mitigate our risk, because it's this candle, it's that trade here that helps us get out of the drawdown once we enter a little bit lower. Oh shit. They calling buys. I'm already in it. I'm already in that motherfucker. They calling buys. So after these two rejections right here, this is beautiful. And the 12 o'clock candle, especially with this 11 a.m. candle closing green, these two rejections coming off of this area, good area to buy. So I can see why they calling buys, but I was already in it just a little bit too early, I would say, and a little bit too aggressive, but definitely in the same trade as the rest of the guys. And then look at the 30-minute. Look at the bullish engulfing on the 30-minute. But yeah, let's go back to this one, and this one we can pretty much just close out. I'll say my initial was 194.800, I believe. 194.100, which is what my initial stop loss was, but I ended up moving it. Yeah, so this is how initially what it should have been, risking about $200 to make $700, somewhere in that range. All right, let's get active. So we are in trade number 6, and I'm tired of shit. It's 12 o'clock, so I'm taking me a nap. But this is trade number 6, and this is a nice ass bullish engulfing candle coming off of this area. So definitely a high confluence trade right here, and it's at the 38. So this should be a good trade if it can push the way I need it to. But it's Don't Play Trent. I am logging off for today. Did my weekly, did my notes with you guys, showed you guys the ins and outs. And let's continue to compound this account. So this week, we know our biggest mistake from last week was not taking profits. So this week, we're definitely closing profits. At 60 pips, it's going to be TP1. 60 pips is TP1. TP2 is 70 pips. TP3 is 80 pips. TP4 and 5 are runners. And that's all we're looking to do. All right, so that is enough for today. I'm about to get off, take my ass to sleep. And I will check in with you guys later. If you guys found any value to this video, please do not hesitate to subscribe to the video and hit that like button so we can be trendy. Anyway, I'm jumping off. See y'all later.